agriculture has become somehow more commercial than before. And if you were to consider agriculture as of today, it's so much different from the one we did last year, the other year, 10 years ago, and maybe what our fathers and our forefathers did. So before you do agriculture, before you join farming or agriculture, it's better you first plan, it's better you avoid the mistakes that I went through. And in this video, we're going to share with you the mistakes that I went through myself, maybe what others have shared with me, what I've seen others doing, so that you don't go through the same mistakes. The purpose of this video, usually when I make a video, is to at least teach you or maybe highlight on what I went through so that you don't go into the same mistakes. To start with, I myself, the construction of the structure was all a mistake. How? It was all a mistake. Number one, the structure itself was built by unprofessionals. Because we were starting, we were hustlers. I did it myself right away from when I was a porter on the sites. I came with some skill which was not professional. I got my fellow porters. We did this structure ourselves. So it was a bit of a mistake because we didn't consider the measurements. By then, I never knew what the measurements are. And you very well know that for layers, we consider 1.5 square feet for one bird. Now, if you were to consider a structure for 500 birds, you get the square, you get the length of your structure times the width of your structure. Then you divide by 1.5. The number you get is the number of birds you should put in that structure. For starters, let us consider that you want to start with 500 birds or 1,000 birds, because you're going to consider a structure that is both downstairs and upstairs. That is a storied building. The one like the one I built here. Okay, let us consider 25 feet by 30 feet. That gives us 750. When you divide by 1.5, that means you get 500 birds. That means if you get 500 birds times 1.5 square feet, you get 750. So that 750, it is a multiple of 25 by 30 feet. 750 accommodates 500 birds downstairs and 500 birds upstairs. The mistake I did, we were porters who never measured. Another mistake I did in the structure was that after the building the first floor, we went upstairs and put timber only, laid the timber only. Remember, when you have birds downstairs and upstairs the birds are there, we put husks or coffee husks on the floor because the same as the down floor or the first floor. So what you do, you put the husks. But when you put the husks, usually if there are some spaces, they drop down. And then you cause infections on the first floor or on the ground floor. That means we had to put maybe plywood or we get the timber that is well fit. We would have taken the timber the carpentry places, then they make them for us fit each other. But we didn't do that. We didn't know that. That was a mistake. We ended up having double spending, buying plywood later. And plywood is a bit expensive. If you put the people thin, you will accommodate cockroaches, and the thing becomes unhygienic and you end up having infections all the time. So I have had that challenge for a long time with this structure, which I'm thinking of renovating every time, adding more value, because if I don't do that, I always have sickness on the farm. I got another challenge of not knowing which wire mesh should I use. We have this chain link and also have the mesh that is meant for building the structures for chickens. But if you don't know, the hardware shops give you anything. As long as you ask, they give you anything. They give me anything. I ended up spending double money because when you buy the wire mesh, it has big holes. The birds start passing there. But there are those chain links that are made for the birds, for the poultry houses. You buy it once and for all. But I did double buying. I remember I spent on the wood. I bought wood that was cheap. It was not dry, very well dried. And once you don't buy dried wood, it gets spoiled easily. So I ended up struggling to have my timber getting spoiled every year, replacing it. But if I had gone to a company that dries wood, that treats the timber, that treats the wood, I would be having my structure very strong. So they say cheap things are always expensive in the long run. I had a mistake of being over ambitious. So I started with 5 female pigs and then 1 male pig. Those 5 pigs were in the same structured buildings. They were in the very, very temporary structures. Very temporary, as I say. So they gave birth to roughly 50 piglets in a short time. Imagine I didn't have the money to build for them better structures. So I had very many piglets everywhere. I didn't have the money to feed them. There was no market by then because there was a lockdown. So I struggled a lot. Being over ambitious is a big mistake. And again, also starting with a very temporary structure is a big mistake. It is better you do once something small, but once and for all. Don't do things because you want to do them, because you are doing them for the sake. I did that mistake and I wouldn't want you to go through it. If you start with 1 pig, start with 1 pig, care for it well, start with 100 birds, build for them well. Don't go for 500 birds when you cannot feed them, when you don't have a good structure. Look at my structure. The timber is just like that. They used to be the backs of the timber. But this one brings in coldness. You end up buying the polythene and again adding in polythene, adding in more wood so to avoid too much coldness. So these things we build for the sake of building. No, we're going commercial farming. Let us avoid this rudimentary farming whereby our forefathers did something and they never had plan commercially. They were doing barter trade. Give me a bird, I give you a pig. Give me a pig, I give me a cow. That was the system they were using. But to have advanced right now, you need school fees for your kids. You need to do something special for your family. So don't do things because it is there. No. Another mistake I did as a starting this farm, not starting farm. I told you that I started from somewhere else, then I shifted here. That was after 5 years. So this farm started in 2021. This very place. We came here in 2021 and this is 2024. So we have been here. I didn't have a fence. It was a big mistake. I had a very temporary fence. Of course, you start with what you can afford, but risking about 500 birds, layers, is not right. That's a big risk. It is hard to make money, but easy to lose it. A thief can come and take your property in one night, which you made for 5 years. So when you are planning to leave your job, planning to start a poultry farm, planning to start a farm, think of security. You can put cameras, you can put the chain link, you can put a wall fence, but what we are saying, you must have some security on your farm. You can put a security guard. All that matters. When you're starting a farm, usually you go into government entities, government prestataries, government property. You ask for something they don't give you. I didn't have the water, national water. I didn't have electricity, and I was using solar energy. My dear, solar energy is very expensive for the farms. You can only light, but you can never sustain solar energy on the farm. Remember, for us to light for over 10 hours a day. If solar energy lights for over 10 hours, the battery always depletes. The challenge I've got with solar energy are the batteries. So I have over 4 solar panels on the roof, but those solar panels, all of them are not working. You can imagine, if I had installed a crystal once and for all, I would be okay. That was a mistake. Sorry. Don't repeat mistakes. I'm telling you what I did, what I failed. I wouldn't want you to go into the same mistakes. On the farm, when you start with temporary structures, they don't last. Look at these pigsties I had. Look at them. They are all now finished. The pigs jump out. That was not called for. I would have done at least one structure and made it permanent. Just as I'm doing these ones right now. At least I would know this is something I loved to do, and this is something permanent and giving me money forever. But the more you waste money on temporary structures, the more you don't grow quicker in poultry farming or in any agricultural sector. No. Try doing something once and for all. What else have I forgotten? Oh, I didn't have a store when I was starting. Look at this store here. I built it when I was on pressure. The birds, I was using this structure both as a brooder and again for the old birds, then again as a store. When the birds filled this structure, I had nowhere to put the feeds. I had to build this. I had to get a loan and build this temporary structure again. That is what I'm saying. Temporary things are expensive in the long run. This store of mine brings in the rats, the rodents. The rodents bring in the diseases. You always spend on diseases. So you do something once and for all. If you're to leave your job, please plan. Seek advice. Get people to teach you. Learn from people who have done the farm. And you will succeed. I did mistakes. Don't do it again. Don't do what I did as a mistake. When you look at this farm, I have banana plantations. I have pigs. I have chicken. And I have the worker's house. You can imagine having a worker's house that is as good as this. You don't need that. Start small. I had to paint it. I thought it was, of course, I'm sleeping there. But this man could have done something else. Could have bought me maybe 40 pigs. Could have done me something better. Did I need this house? Surely no. I need only one room for myself, a room for the store, and a room for the worker. Or maybe 2 rooms for 2 workers, or one room for 2 workers. That is all on the farm. That's what we call starting small but prepared. So, why would I have started with all this house? Not necessary, for sure. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Kataps once again. I want to thank you for watching my videos. Thank you for being with us. Follow us on Facebook. We are on Kataps Organic Farm Enterprises on Facebook. We are on TikTok, Kataps Farm. We're on YouTube, Kataps Community Farm. All there, follow us. We are grateful because some of you have started because we have started. If you're not a subscriber, please subscribe. And if it's your first time to be here, like our videos, share with others. And if you've been here, please share. Hit that notification bell so that always when you put a video, you don't lose out. Bye-bye.